Item 38.
Item 38 is a resolution condemning recent statements by Osaka Mayor Toru Hashimoto, claiming that the system of sex slavery utilized by Japan in occupied Asian countries from the 1930s through World War II was a military necessity, and that there is no proof that the sexual servitude was involuntary and coerced by Japanese authorities.
Supervisor Kim.
Thank you. I'm actually just submitting amendments that each of the board members should have gotten copies for. These were just clarifications that some of our community members asked us to put in, including the countries from which these women and girls were taken from, and just some other details. So there's one on page 1, lines 17 through 19. And again on page 2 on lines 23 through 25. I just wanted to comment also that there were several folks that came here to speak at public comment on this item, but not realizing that there was a Bielenson hearing, were not able to stay to speak to this issue. But I do want to recognize Judge Lillian Singh, Judge Tang, and Professor Ling-Chi Wang, who brought this resolution to us.
Supervisor Kim has made some motions to amend. Is there a second to that? Second by Supervisor Mar. Any discussion on the amendments? Without objection, the amendments are made. Supervisor Mar.
Yeah, I wanted to thank Supervisor Kim, but also the Rape of Nanjing Redress Coalition for their efforts to keep the issue of the euphemism of comfort women alive. It's really forced sexual slavery, and the anti-trafficking groups that were out with Supervisor Kim at noon today as well. Even in Japan, and our Consul General Hiroshi Inomata kind of reminds us that even in Japan there are strong condemnations of what some women's groups call the shame of Osaka. Mayor Hashimoto, who made the disgusting comments about a month ago and then was almost coming here to meet with our mayor and Mayor Bloomberg. But I'm just very happy that it was used as an educational moment by many women's groups, and anti-rape and anti-sexual slavery groups as well. I know that the 56-year-old sister city relationship with Osaka is something that Emily Morase, the head of our Commission on the Status of Women, was concerned about, but she and others were strongly critical of the Osaka mayor as well. I also wanted to say that I'm continuing to work with a number of the community groups, not only as Supervisor Kim in the resolution identifies, but also on different educational efforts and memorials. There's current one under in negotiations at Sonoma State, I believe, and we're working with the Rec and Park Department and in communication with the Mayor's Office to make sure that we have some educational display in San Francisco, hopefully in a park or a public place that identifies the issues of the so-called comfort women, but who are forced sexual slaves, and other issues like the rape of Nanking tragedy that is so deep within the Chinese community sentiments. And my hope is that Korean, Filipino, and Chinese women and communities are acknowledged in any memorials that are done locally. So I'm very supportive, and I thank Supervisor Kim and Ling-Chi Wang, Judges Julie Tang and Lillian Singh, and many others that brought this forward.
Thank you. Any further comments, colleagues? Colleagues, can we take this item, same house, same call? The resolution, I'm sorry, yes? The resolution is adopted as amended.